Hi guys, this is Joe from PrepAgent, and today I want to talk about being super rich, like crazy rich, tons of money. But before I do that, let's define what it means to most people to be really wealthy, really rich. And to most people, it really means flexibility, and that comes down to three things. One, you don't want to work for somebody else. You don't want to have to answer to another person. Two, it means you have the resource to overcome obstacles in your life that money could solve, such as if somebody gets sick and needs to go to the hospital, or there's a hole in the house, your car needs repair, to be able to pay for those things without stressing about it, okay? And three is that flexibility I was talking about, be able to go out and watch your kid play soccer at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, to be able to visit your mom and get on a flight and just go see her, or maybe take her to a nice location or a nice dinner. Things of that nature. Those are the three things that wealth means to most people when you really think about it. It means not having to answer to somebody else, being able to overcome obstacles that money could solve, and the flexibility to do what you want when you want, okay? And if your form of wealth, money, takes away one of those three things, generally you're not going to be that happy regardless of how much money you have in the bank account if it takes away your ability to do those three things. That's why you see people who own restaurants who are super successful with their restaurant, and the restaurant's making a ton of money, but they want out regardless of how much money it's making because they have to be in that restaurant all day, and it takes away one of those three elements. It takes away that freedom and that flexibility, and they can't deal with that. And I know I wouldn't want to. So, how are we gonna build all this money to achieve those three goals? Well, the word passive income gets thrown around a lot. So I'm gonna work backwards to the end goal, and then we'll get to the more nitty gritty of how we get it started. So passive income is money that's coming in while you're sleeping. It's just I could be sitting here making this video and I have money coming in. And for me, and you guys could comment below and tell me other ways to do this, there's 4 major ways to create passive income. One, there's content. You're selling information, and that could be in the form of art, or learning material, or provocative comments. You see people doing that political stuff all the time, like commentary. But basically, you're putting out information or in one form or another that continues to generate interest and hence generate revenue. The other way is invest in stocks and mutual funds and things of that nature. The other way is to create a business that ends up becoming self-sufficient, like create a successful business. And then you put in managers and CEOs, and therefore after a while you're just collecting the money while the business is basically self-sufficient. And the fourth way is to invest in real estate. Invest in real estate that gains equity, and then obviously can have tenants in there which pay rent, and you get that form of passive income. What's the problem with these 4 things? Well, they either need a lot of knowledge and time and or a lot of money. Okay, you need to really know what you're doing, or have a lot of money to invest, or need both. Typically, you need both to get those things going. A lot of money and a lot of know-how. Okay, so you don't really have those right now. So that's the end goal, but we're not really there yet. You can't just say, I'm going to create passive income. My dad told me that when I started real estate. He said, son, if you want to make a lot of money, you need to invest in real estate. I said, great idea, Dad. I want to invest in real estate. Yeah, you need to invest in real estate. You'll get passive income. It'll generate rent, and that'll kind of pay for your day-to-day. I said, great, but I need money. How am I going to pay for all this? How am I going to get that house? And he said, well, I can't help you with everything. What do you want me to do here? I said, oh, thanks, genius. So I couldn't get that income property. So what's the most immediate way to generate a lot of money to be able to pay for those things? The most common answer would be sales. When you sell something, you do something, you get your check, all right? You get a commission check, a big one hopefully. And that's the most immediate way to get a lot of money coming in, okay? A 9-to-5 job, very rare you can find a 9-to-5 job that'll pay you a significant amount of money. And the other thing, that 9-to-5 job takes away your time as well. So sales. What traditionally is the biggest item you could sell? A house, okay, a house, which is why we're here. When you guys sell a house, you're looking at commission checks of $1,000, $10,000, $20,000, maybe even $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. You sell a house, you get a big whopping commission check, and it's the fastest way to get a lot of money coming in. So then you can start to develop that passive income. You can invest that money, you could pay people to help create that art or that content, or maybe put it into a business, or maybe even invest in somebody else's business and just get that money coming in like that. Okay? So that's why we're basically here, which is the real estate sales. And the first point I want to make, when you guys get into this business and you start selling real estate, you should always sell real estate to get those checks. Those checks are great. But you should be taking a portion of the money from that commission and putting it towards something that can create passive income. And I just named a few ways that passive income can come in, till eventually the majority of your money is passive income, and just the commission is just a way to get immediate checks coming in. Whereas in the beginning, the majority is going to be the commission checks, okay? And the passive income is going to be relatively small, but hopefully over time that changes. So what's the next problem? So you got these big commission checks coming in eventually. That's the problem. The key word is eventually. You're not going to get these big commission checks your first day in real estate. So this is why I said I'm working backwards. So now you pass your exam, what do you need to do? You need to find a job, all right? Find a way to make money that is relatively flexible and is related to real estate in some form or another. It could be maybe teaching something online, maybe teaching about real estate, talking about it, maybe teaching in your local community, like doing tutoring. So when I say related to real estate, it doesn't have to be talking about homes. Related to real estate basically means, and everybody should write this down, something that increases your sphere of influence. Anything that creates your sphere of influence. So maybe you're making some side cash, like coaching a sport, tutoring, helping coach in the local league. The key word is that form of money needs to be flexible, hopefully provide you some knowledge about real estate, but at minimum increases your sphere of influence. So if that doesn't take up too much time, it just gives you enough money to keep your head above water while you're trying to get that big sale, okay, then you're on your path to being super wealthy. And we could talk about those jobs you could get right after you pass in another video. But the key thing is you want something that's flexible, doesn't take up too much of your time of the day, makes you just enough money to keep your head above water so you could really focus on getting those sales going, okay? And it increases your sphere of influence. And if it also adds to your knowledge about real estate, that side job, then great. So you have the immediate money coming in, even though it's not the biggest, it's just enough to keep your head above water, but it's keeping your head above water while you get that big commission check. Once you get the commission checks rolling in, then you're gonna start to put some of that money towards some passive income goal, whether it's stocks, mutual funds, investing in a business, creating content, okay, or getting those big income properties over and over again, which is probably the most likely route if you're selling real estate, because obviously your knowledge is gonna increase over that topic. Then over time, after you rinse and repeat this process, obviously you're gonna drop off that day-to-day money that you have when you start, unless you really enjoyed it, which would be great. I think a lot of people do something like coach a team in their community, or maybe work at their local community center, and they like giving back so they can keep that. So ideally, if you could forever do all three things, do that local job that increases your sphere of influence, but hopefully it's something you enjoy, because when you do become super rich, you're not going to want to do it anymore if it sucks, okay? So you do something on the local level that you really like, that you could just keep going forever. You end up selling real estate, okay, getting those big checks, but at the end, the real wealth, the real serious money is going to come when you take a portion of that and create that large source of passive income. So therefore, if one day you don't want to do that local job, or you don't want to sell real estate anymore, you could sit back and enjoy. Anyways, this is Joe from PrepAgent. That's just a thought. Let me know if this video helped you. I might be saying stuff that a lot of you already know. If that's the case, leave comments below and we'll see what we could do next time. Thanks everybody. Bye.